Good morning, Thailand. My name is Alex J. Whereabouts unknown. But I've got some news updates for you from around the land of smiles this Thursday, October 23rd. Before we get into it, though, please remember to subscribe to the Thaiger to stay up to date on all things Thailand. Now, we got a wacky lineup of stories for you today. We're going to be starting off talking about Luigi Mangioni's peculiar encounter with a group of trans women while he was in Thailand. We also have corruption allegations at the airport as seized items pop up on Facebook Marketplace. And a little later, we have a horrifying story, just in time for spooky season, I guess, of a man left in a skeletal state due to a substance addiction. Which substance, we'll find out in just a bit. But before we dive into it, we got to get our plugs out of the way. First off, this show is always brought to you by Fazwise.com. You can go to Fazwise to take care of all of your real estate needs. Anything you need, they've got you covered. Not only that, we're about 1 week out from the biggest Halloween party of the year, and that, of course, is Monster Jam. Go to monsterjambkk.com to secure your tickets. They have an amazing lineup of hip-hop artists. They're going to have a haunted maze. They're going to have carnival games, drinks, food, costume contests for scariest, sexiest, and best costume overall. I'm going to try for all three next week. Surprise, surprise. You'll have to come and find out. I will be there along with many of the Thaiger people. We're going to have a really good time, and we hope to see you there too. Remember, that's monsterjambkk.com. To book your tickets, you can find that in the description below. Not only that, oh, by the way, headlined by Ray Shremmerd. Big name. Now, this Saturday, in Pattaya, I have got a big headliner as well. We're doing comedy down for Pattaya Night Live, our monthly big show at the Siam Design Hotel, featuring Graham Elwood and Harvey Walden. I bet it was a bit of a mistake, marketing mistake, not to spook this up a little bit in terms of the promo, but Graham is a veteran of the small screen. He has been featured on all of the streaming services, and Harvey Walden, one of my inspirations to get into comedy in the first place. A legend of the Bangkok comedy scene, coming down to bring his act to Pattaya. And of course, I will be your host, dressed up in my brand new royal green suit, looking fresh. You can find your tickets on Megatix, and the link for that show is also going to be in the description below. All right, let's dive into it. Our first story is making waves. This broke last night, and everybody's talking about it here in Thailand. But of course, the U.S. insurance boss slayer, Luigi Mangioni, said he was attacked by Thai trans women before going on his assassination attempt, allegedly. Assassination attempt. 27-year-old Luigi Mangioni, accused of shooting the CEO of United Healthcare, claimed he was assaulted by a group of transgender women, also known as ladyboys here in the land of smiles, while backpacking in Bangkok months before the murder. During his Asia trip, he reportedly messaged friends about nightlife in Thailand and expressed shock over cheap medical care compared to the U.S. Yeah, I guess that could drive someone a little bloodlusty, coming out here and figuring out not everybody lives the way we do in the States. After returning home, Mangioni isolated himself in Japan, gave up digital devices, and allegedly began planning his attack. His diary entries later revealed anger toward the U.S. healthcare system and statements like, "The target is insurance." He has pleaded not guilty, facing both state and federal charges, with prosecutors pursuing the death penalty. Well, what a, Luigi Mangioni, definitely going to be an interesting historical figure when the books are written. Certainly at the time of his arrest, this was an absolutely, divisive thing. Of course, murder, bad. We can all agree on that. At the same time, we can all agree that the actions of the health insurance company itself potentially led to the deaths of many people due to rejected insurance claims, which they apparently had a rate of almost a 30% rejection, might have even been more, which is insane. So there were people on both sides of this saying, like, yeah, of course, don't do the murder, but of course there is some culpability on the side of the health insurance company. So it brought a lot of attention to that particular issue. Now, of course, his court case, also very controversial. The Batman-themed perp walk with Mayor Eric Adams back in the day might have tampered with the trial, right? Might be seen as potentially causing a mistrial in this particular case. So this is still an ongoing process, and it is capturing the attention of the world. And here, a weird little detail that came out regarding his time in Thailand. And of course, we do stories similar to that all the time, so it's not exactly a surprise that something like this might have happened to him. But at the end of the day, you got to wonder what his actions and behaviors might have been like over here, because clearly not exactly the most stable person. One Luigi. Still waiting on quotes from his brother Mario. Sorry about that. Okay, moving on. Case dismissed. That's what we were talking about. Tony, thank you for correcting. And Adams, what a joke. We got Jose chiming in from New York. Indeed. Don't worry. He's gone soon. You gotta. I'm curious to know your thoughts on the mayoral race over there. I'll talk to you after the show about that one, Jose. All right. Moving on to our next story. This is a funny one. We got corruption allegations coming out of Suvarnabhumi Airport, as seized items at the airport have ended up on Facebook Marketplace. Huh. You ever wonder what the seized stuff ends up? Well, it looks like it's lining the pockets of some of the people seizing it. A Thai traveler claimed that her confiscated pocket knife from Suvarnabhumi Airport later appeared for sale online, sparking corruption allegations against airport staff. The item, taken during a security check, was found listed on Facebook through groups known for selling seized goods. The woman demanded explanations from both the airport and airports of Thailand regarding the chain of custody for confiscated belongings. Officials have faced scrutiny over how seized items are managed and whether employees may be profited from them. The incident has raised broader concerns about transparency and oversight at Thailand's busiest international airports. Well, all right. First of all, shame on you for trying to bring a knife onto an airplane. You should know better about that. Second of all, shame on the airport staff for auctioning the stuff off. I don't really know. What do you do? They seize the stuff. What are you supposed to do? Just lock it up forever? Maybe there should be some sort of official, the way that the police impound does auctions to the public and stuff like that. There's probably some sort of official process in place already for these things. But the fact that it's just popping up on Facebook Marketplace, being sold allegedly by just employees of the marketplace, sheds a little bit of light on what the hell is going on over there. So. Curious that, if I got something confiscated from the airport, I would just be like, all right, they got it. I wouldn't even think twice about it. So interesting that this lady tracked it down and eventually saw it for sale. She's like, hey, that's my knife. So, I doubt we'll see much in the way of punishment, maybe some internal reprimanding, but maybe a process change is in order to make sure that this doesn't happen again. Jose's in agreement, I guess. Well, the stuff would have been disposed of anyway, he says. They should at least profit from other stupidity or just negligence. Or payoffs as well, as Tony says, to auction it, sure. But probably a better answer than whatever this story has reported. We'll see if anything changes. Maybe I don't know. That's the thing about these stories. We get a lot of the information on the front end, but then the follow-ups don't seem to come. The attention moves very quickly. Look, I'll keep my eye out if there's any reporting on it, but time will tell. All right. See, without Jay, I don't get my sips. I need to take a break every once in a while. Moving on. It's time for Foreigners Behaving Badly. Of course, everybody's favorite segment here at the Thaiger. And our first stop, where in the globe is the naughty boy coming from today? Well, it's Kuwait. A Kuwaiti visitor was busted in Phuket for, again, doing two bad things. If you're going to break the rules, guys, Jay's not here. I'll give you some advice on criminality. Don't break multiple laws at the same time. This guy was doing meth, and of course, he overstayed his visa. Sometimes a bender gets a little out of control, huh? Police in Patong arrested a 36-year-old Kuwaiti national for possessing nearly 1 gram of crystal methamphetamine and overstaying his visa. The suspect now faces charges for drug possession and immigration violations. His arrest forms part of an ongoing crackdown on drug-related crimes and overstays in Phuket's tourist districts. Authorities are tightening inspections of hotels and rental accommodations to ensure foreigners comply with visa laws. The case is shedding a little light on Phuket's ongoing challenges balancing tourism with law enforcement. Naughty, naughty. All right, yeah, of course, drugs are a problem everywhere, that's for sure. And methamphetamine is definitely one of the ones that leads to more erratic and shocking behavior. 1 gram of crystal meth, obviously, he's not pushing it. I think that's a personal use amount. At the same time, didn't we watch Breaking Bad? Don't do meth. That's bad. It's bad stuff. There's plenty of legal substances here in Thailand that you can indulge in to have a bit of fun. the illegal stuff is going to land you in some hot water, particularly if you're already on the radar for overstaying your visa. So deportation in order, I imagine. Off to Kuwait you go with a probable ban from ever traveling to Thailand again. See, you ruined the fun for yourself, my man. And of course, as April mentions, no cannabis involved. Again, these stories, it's so funny. We've talked about Phuket trying to change the rules regarding cannabis lately. I never seem to do I'm waiting. There are some times where cannabis is in the mix with a whole lot of other drugs, and then that ends up making the headline. But then they're like, oh yeah, cannabis high man does crazy things. Then you find out, oh yeah, he was also on meth, cocaine, ketamine, whatever else, like a whole cocktail of things running through his system. And for some reason, cannabis makes the headline. So I try not to do that, April, because I am very much aware that of all of the substances you can abuse, cannabis is the least likely to turn you into, a menace to the public. All right. Moving on to our next story, another foreigner behaving badly, this time in a much more organized fashion. Tourist police crackdown shuts down a Russian-run car rental network, Ngan. Police dismantled a large car rental network run by Russian nationals and other foreigners on Ngan, uncovering hundreds of unregistered vehicles and illegal operations. Woo! That's a lot. Several employees were found working without valid permits, while tourists claimed their passports had been withheld by the company. Wow, again, breaking more than one rule at a time, huh? The arrest followed complaints from visitors about fraud and intimidation. The crackdown forms part of a broader effort to combat transnational crime in Thailand's tourist hubs. Authorities are continuing inspections to prevent illegal business activities by foreign operators. How the hell do you... Hundreds of cars that are unregistered on an island, a tiny little island like Koh Phangan. How are you able to manage that, my friend? Has to make you wonder what might have been the under the table payments, the potential bribery to local officials that might have been involved. Look, I'm speculating here, of course. There's no accusations, but the fact that it was able to grow to such a monstrous level shows me that there's probably more to the story than just the evildoers themselves. So, not only that, of course, running the business illegally, but then, holding people's passports, like keeping them hostage, that's also a big old no-no. So I'm glad that the authorities were able to crack down on this and put an end to this. But sounds like it was probably pretty lucrative if they had hundreds of vehicles out. Look, my mom, shout out mom, mi madre, as I like to call her. She runs a car rental business on an island. So I know exactly how much work goes into this. And not even, I think she might have, up to 100 cars now, too. Shout out, if you're ever in St. Thomas in the Virgin Islands, hit up Paradise Rental Car. She'll take good care of you, trust me. But she runs it above board, completely legal. I'm not worried about the authorities finding out about her. And the amount of work involved is insane, and the amount of employees involved is also insane. So keeping that under wraps for such a long time to let it grow to that level is pretty crazy to me. Anyways, we'll see. By the way, Zhao Shanghao, Elliot, thank you for coming in. And yeah, you are wrong. There is a stream today. Public holiday for everybody but us here at the Thaiger. Apparently, the streets are empty. Looks like a 28 Days Later movie out there. Moving on. I gotta shave. Water keeps getting caught on my mustache. Now, our next story. Okay. Viewer discretion on this one, guys. This is a pretty horrifying tale. As I said, in time for the Halloween season. But the image you might see coming up is going to haunt your nightmares. I regret having looked at it, but unfortunately it's news that I got to report. So buckle up, everybody. An underweight, and that's an understatement, Thai man was rescued after alleged kratom dependency. Ugh. Yucky stuff. Rescue volunteers in Thailand discovered a severely emaciated man believed to be suffering from kratom addiction. Images of his skeletal frame shocked social media users and reignited debate over the misuse of kratom drinks. While kratom is legal under Thai law, health experts warn that excessive consumption can lead to serious dependency and malnutrition. The case has prompted calls for better public education and addiction support. It also highlights the potential dangers of self-medicating with herbal substances. So I do want to clarify, kratom is legal to create yourself, like in a homebrew kind of thing. It is not legal to sell it. So this man, I don't know what apparently there were allegations that he might have been using other substances too, but Kratom is definitely the major culprit. And as you can see, 23 years old is the age. Should not be looking like that. I'm amazed that people were able to find him. He is now in hospital receiving care, and hopefully he will be okay. But shocking image, and just lets you know, man, Kratom, even if something is legal, doesn't mean it can't have serious, severe consequences. So do be careful. I've tried the Kratom once or twice before myself, and not for me, I have to say. But the fact that you can just get on it and then lose all appetite and end up in this kind of a state should be enough of a warning sign to the rest of you to definitely be careful and be responsible when you're consuming substances, even if they are legal. Oh, yucky one. Sorry about that. Let's shake that one off. As we move on to our ASEAN story of the day, and this time we're off to Vietnam, and involving a little bit of Japan as well. Japan is sounding the alarm over the Vietnam motorbike ban and warns of job losses. Don't worry, not all motorbikes, just ones that are affecting Honda. Japan has warned Vietnam that its upcoming ban on petrol-powered motorbikes could lead to widespread job losses and major market disruptions. The ban, part of Hanoi's air pollution reduction plan, is expected to take effect in 2026, with gradual expansion in later years. Honda, which dominates Vietnam's motorcycle market, has already reported declining sales since the policy was announced. Japanese officials have urged a more gradual transition to electric vehicles to cushion the economic blow. Analysts say the move may help local EV industries, but risks destabilizing millions of livelihoods tied to traditional motorbike production. Well, boo-hoo, I have to say. I think it's great when countries and cities in particular take their environment seriously. Obviously, pollution is a major issue in Southeast Asia, and a city like Hanoi that is trying to make rapid changes in order to, offset the effects of pollution doesn't seem like a bad thing in my book. Of course, everyone always talks about balancing the economic impact with the environmental impact. At the same time, Vietnam has its own local EV producing motorbike companies. So this is not like the economic impact for Japan. Sure, that's happening. What about the economic impact benefit for Vietnam? That's also happening. Not to mention the environmental alleviation that will happen as a result of switching to more EV vehicles. So, I don't know. It seems like it's not exactly horrible news for Vietnam. But of course, Honda CEOs and executives are going to be panicking as their annual bonus checks are probably going to be a little bit lighter. And of course, job loss, never a great thing either. So we'll find out. Damien, infrastructure, ban scoots in Vietnam, electric scooter. Well, that's what I mean. It's only gas scooters. They still want the electric ones there. It does seem like it's a bit fast. I do have to say that is a rapid policy change. So, the market, this is the problem with problem or solution with these communist, more authoritarian regimes. They are able to affect change very quickly. Not a whole lot of red tape and gridlock when it comes to policy change in those countries. Look at China as an example. So, we'll see what happens over there. All right. Let's let's take a quick break for Fazwaz. Wait, we got Feel Good News, which is, of course, always brought to you by Fazwaz. So let's hear it, Tom. Okay, that's Fazwaz, baby. They've got all your real estate needs. Go to fazwaz.com if you want to buy, rent, or sell anything here in Thailand. And by anything, I mean homes and houses and apartments and stuff. It's not Facebook Marketplace, okay? All right, our first feel-good story of the day, we're off to Chiang Mai. This is a weird one. I don't know what to make of it, but a frozen escalator in Chiang Mai is being rebooted after decades of inoperation. A long idle escalator in Chiang Mai has finally been repaired and reopened after years of disuse, marking a small but symbolic urban renewal. The project is part of a local initiative to modernize public spaces and improve accessibility. Residents have welcomed the restoration as a nostalgic return to a once beloved landmark. City officials emphasized that maintenance and safety upgrades were top priorities in the renovation. The revival is seen as a sign of renewed civic pride and revitalization efforts in northern Thailand. Well, give it up for this escalator. I think this is hilarious, right? What's an old Mitch Hedberg joke? I love escalators. They can never be broken. Like, escalator, out of order, temporarily stairs. You're welcome. Oh, sorry for the convenience. Excuse me. I love that joke. But it is funny. You know, I've been in these old markets all the time. You see a lot of escalators in disrepair. So the fact that it's being seen as a symbol of what is to come is interesting. But boy, I've never seen so much fanfare over the reopening of an escalator before. Not since Trump announced his presidential run back in 2015 or something like that. So welcome back to the news. Everybody's favorite method of getting from one level to another, the escalator. I mean, come on. Escalators are way better than elevators, right? Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. All right, moving on. They can be dangerous. That reminds me of another joke, a Dimitri Martin joke. I hate escalators. One time, I fell down an escalator for an hour. Get it? You're just like tumbling and it keeps taking you up like that. I'm full of jokes. Lots of yucks today. All right, anyways. Sorry, everybody. Our final story of the day. We're back in Phuket. All right. The streets of Phuket are aglow with devotion during the vegetarian festival Processions. Wait, this is the piercing one, though, too, isn't it? Let's dive into it. Ugh, weird stuff. Okay, Phuket's annual vegetarian festival once again transformed the island streets into a vibrant sea of white-clad devotees and glowing lanterns. Processions carried statues and offerings through the city, accompanied by the sound of drums and firecrackers. The festival, rooted in Taoist purification rituals, celebrates abstinence, meditation, and spiritual cleansing. Crowds of locals and tourists gathered to witness the spectacle while enjoying yellow flag vegetarian dishes from street vendors. Authorities praised the event for boosting tourism and preserving Thailand's cultural heritage. Vegetarian festival is funny. It's an interesting thing. Of course, it's rooted in its spiritual history. It ends up being a big old party and celebration kind of a thing. And yeah, if you've never seen the videos of it, go check it out. It's super interesting, weird. You know, they do the rods through the cheeks and stuff and other parts of the body safely. Apparently, can be pretty horrifying stuff, which also fits in with our lovely spooky season that we are in the midst of. So, yeah, anyways, go check it out. But that's it, guys. Thank you for tuning in for today's edition of Good Morning Thailand. We will be back again with you tomorrow to round out the week. Hopefully, Jay will be with me as well. I know we're better as a duo. But yeah, until then, you can always go to thetiger.com to get more news updates throughout the day. Or if you want to continue the conversation, you can join Thailand's largest expat forum over at ASEANnow.com. And don't forget, we have social media. We got Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Wherever you scroll, you can find more content that you wouldn't normally see here on the main channel. Don't forget, Fazwaz, thank you. MonsterJamBKK.com for the Halloween party next Thursday. And of course, Pattaya Night Live coming this Saturday, October 25th. All of those links you can find in the description below. For now, we say goodbye to YouTube and we say hello to our live viewers in the chat.
If you like that story, please like and subscribe. And for more Thailand news, follow us on Instagram, YouTube, or TikTok at The Thaiger, or you can go to thetiger.com and join the conversation.